Leon Forsman here again, from New Beginning Mediation Services. I did a video not too long ago about parental alienation, and the feedback was astounding. Many parents, divorced, separated parents, are in some way or form battling with this kind of behavior. And one of the questions that came up during one of my conversations about parental alienation is, how can I help my child deal with parental alienation? What can I do if either myself or the other parent is alienating the child against the other parent? How can I help if you, the culprit, you recognize that your behavior in some way or form is alienating your child? I would suggest get counseling. Get it quick. Get the anger and bitterness worked out in your life so that you can have a positive and productive life and a good influence on your child. If it is the other parent, I think there are a few things that we can discuss and can do to deal with parental alienation and helping your child through it. Just once again, parental alienation is a constant set of behaviors that seek to drive a wedge between a parent and a child. Maybe that's a very easy definition. It's much more complex than that, but let's work with this definition today. And the methods used can vary from very subtle to purposefully, deliberately doing things to alienate the other parent. The subtle kind of ways of doing this is making your child feel guilty that he spends time with the other parent, that he loves the other parent, that he cares about the other parent. More deliberately, excuse me, like throwing away letters and gifts received from the other parent. Parental alienation is a form of child abuse. I've said this previously. It is not taken seriously by courts in many countries, and one really has to prove in a very sound way that this is happening. And if it is, use the courts to help you deal with it. Remember, a child deserves, not only has the right, he or she deserves a full and loving relationship with both parents. When a parent is not in a child's life, he or she can feel as though they are not lovable or good enough. Feelings of abandonment, rejection, and having a very bad self-esteem is very often part and parcel when one parent is not in a child's life. And this can carry on through life. Even as adults, they may feel not valuable and fear that others who love them will leave them. Keep in mind, when a child hears bad things said about either parent, it hits on a deep level because a child is composed of both mother and father. He has something of each in his life, not only biologically, but also psychologically and emotionally. When a parent is attacked to a child with insults and criticism and portrayed in a negative light, this sends a message to the child that he or she is also a bad person. I know you love your children. I know that you want the very best for them. So be careful what you say about the other parent in front of your children. It can make a big difference. There are some common ways parental alienation is exercised, is enforced. One of the things that alienating parent does is bad-mouthing the other parent in front of the child, saying very bad and negative things about dad or mom, using guilt to make the child feel bad about loving the other parent, asking them to take sides, to spy, or defend one parent over the other. Interrogating the child when he gets or she gets back from the other parent can also play into this problem of parental alienation. Refusing attempts at contact and acting to turn the child against the other parent are all ways in which parental alienation is exercised in a child's life. I want to say it again. Before you speak, think what you are going to say. Because the remarks you make, the statements you make about the other parent may have a negative effect on the relationship between the child and the other parent. And I've seen it more than often. It backfires in a very, very real way many times. Think before you vent and remember who is watching and listening to your behavior. If it involves your children, it's in front of your children, stand back, think about what you are saying, stop it immediately. What can I do if alienating tactics are being used against me? There are a few things. First of all, take every opportunity when you are able to see or talk to your children to remind them of how much you love them and want to be with them. Do it in a positive manner. Don't let them feel guilty that they're not with you at that moment, when it is perhaps in a phone call to them. Just remind them that you really love them and that you are interested in what they are doing and how it is going at school, if they are at school-going age, how it went with the rugby or the cricket or the soccer match. Document, secondly, every refused attempt that you make to contact your children. This can later on, when the child is grown up and tries to make contact with you, be a source of enlightenment for your child, when he can see and realize that what happened was not you not loving your child anymore. Release, thirdly, your children from the pressure to choose between the parents. Remind your child constantly that he or she is free to love who he or she wants to love and like who he or she would like to like. Be happy with your child and say it to him or her that you are happy with their decisions. Allow them to share without judgment and with to vocalize their feelings. Help them and support them to know it is right, it is good for them to love the other parent as much as they love you. Fourthly, don't be afraid to involve the courts if the behavior is very abusive. And remember, two wrongs don't make a right. So as much as a right as you have to be angry for being alienated, take the high road and demonstrate peace and civility before your kids. Sixthly, prove the other parent's allegations wrong. Do this in a positive manner. Show your child all of your good qualities and make a liar out of your ex in that way without saying the other parent is lying. Just live positively. Kids are smart. They're going to make a judgment for themselves on the facts presented to them. Don't fan the flames by becoming part of the other parent's anger campaign. And never give up. Be ready to welcome your child back. There are a few ways of dealing with parental alienation. I truly hope it helped you. If you need more information, you can contact me on 081 706 0404 or at newdawn@vox.co.za. Thank you for taking time and listening and watching this video. May it be of great help. Goodbye.